Hail and Matches Kingdom, I just watched full livestream reveal of the new Path of Exile 2 leak, and Druid is confirmed with bunch of different forms. Delirium Fog fixed, so it's best news for anyone who like to play endgame. However, there is one bad news for anyone who want to play endgame, and it's basically there is no endgame changes that was promised in 0.4. They postponed until 0.5. And now let's go over all important stuff that you need to know before release and how it will affect you. Druid got new cinematic where we see how Druid friends got killed by King of the Mist, and that's why he is last of the Druids with insanely powerful forms. You probably already know that we can summon Volcanoes and run as bear, but also there will be werewolf form with loads of ice skills and wolf pack to assist you. There is also a wyvern form, so if you want to be a dragon you can do it. But for my surprise, I actually enjoyed more of the human form abilities showcase. There's a lot of very cool elemental magic and different synergies between them. To use Druid skills we need a new type of weapon, it's called talismans, and after equipping this talisman you can select what form you want to choose. So if you wish you technically can play monk with werewolf skills on second weapon set. Loads of abilities were showcased, for example you can create volcano as human and then slam it with bear form to create massive explosions. It's cool idea, it looks cool, but come on, monsters are so fast in most cases, there's just no time to create volcano and slam it after you reach Act 3. At least that's what I thought. Maybe it's not the case in this release and maybe it won't be a case in 0.5. We will see and you'll understand why in a minute, when we talk about endgame changes. That's why I won't spoil a lot of skills and synergies since you will see them in the game anyway or in good build guides. But what we can get from livestream that Bear is mostly specialized in fire skills, so if you want to play fire druid, that's a way to go. But no one will stop you to get some cool uniques and change all fire damage to cold, of course. Animal forms got cool ultimate abilities, for example this Bear Storm, Bear Apocalypse. Still I'm more interested in werewolf form. Maybe because I recently played it in Diablo 4, maybe because this werewolf form will specialize in ice-cold skills, and that's what I like in Path of Exile 2. Even though lightning will deal a lot more damage, probably, we still need to see patch notes, and I will release patch note review soon. But as wolf we will be able to create pack of wolves to assist us, and this pack can grow based on how fast we can defeat enemies with our abilities and special skills, and it's pretty cool and fun. They are not respawnable by the way, so they are not like summon minions, and therefore against the bosses we will need to use different combinations and rotations to summon them. And that's why we actually need to feel ourselves how it will look. In this example we see how Wolf uses one ability to combine it with second ability and then use third ability to create pack of wolves and do like massive damage. We don't see massive damage because again, for demonstration they need low damage characters so they can showcase abilities. But again, it works only in demonstrations. In the game, in the real game experience, in most cases you just hold the button and destroy enemies in one single click. So in my opinion, it's impossible to justify right now how powerful Druid will be. Ultimate ability in werewolf form, by the way, is Arctic Wolf. Looks pretty cool. Unlike Wyvern, at least to me, it looks weird. It definitely gets something cool to it and maybe it's really enjoyable in different abilities, but overall I don't want to watch crawling a lizard for 10 hours every day. Still, if you want to play as dragon, you can. Lizard can throw a bunch of fireballs, you can throw them in volcano to create even more volcanoes, but most of these combinations is pretty stationary, so you're staying still, and that's not what you want to do in Path of Exile, in my experience and opinion at least. That's why I really enjoyed basic skills in human form. For example, we can summon rain, and rain, again, it's pretty boring, but it makes enemies wet. Wet enemies will be primed and more easier to shock or freeze. Also, we can create roots of vines, and when we use rain on these vines, they grow and start attack enemies. This looks cool, we can roleplay as Mushroom King from Act 1 Grim Tangle, and probably I will enjoy trying to freeze enemies with my spells and then create bunch of vines and then use rain to activate these vines and destroy them. It sounds pretty interesting interesting if we can do it pretty fast. Also there is totems, so you can create totems which will create spells, and look, we got 2 totems that spamming comet at this monster. Again, I think human form druid is just insanely fun spellcaster, so if you got bored by wizard or witch, this is a way to go. There's also more than 20 support gems, we saw a bunch of them. One of them will give ability to spread fire, and it's hard to understand how it will work, so again we need to see patch notes, but it works on Huntress and also on Monk. The one that I really enjoyed is the support gem that will give ability to make stationary effects movable. So here we see how Storm actually moves. Now Tornado moves, and now Sorcerer Storm moves. It's pretty cool, but probably it will have insanely high cooldown. On launch, Druid will have 2 ascendancies. First one is Shaman, and this will be used for multiple occasions. For example, one passive will make Rage to increase spell damage, while at the same time we will have passives that will give us basically unlimited Rage that generates itself. I'm really curious how it will work, because Rage is pretty powerful mechanic, and getting Rage for free will work basically with any martial weapon, so it's pretty fun and interesting way to play. If there is no weird downsides, for example like Rage will be used to cast spells. Another cool passive will transform runes, so every rune will actually have extra effects and they're pretty cool and interesting. And some really powerful ultimate abilities like Apocalypse that will create different effects of different storms. Looks pretty cool, we need to see how it will work in the game, of course. Second ascendancy is Oracle. There is no direct information right now how it will work, but basically you will see copies of yourself that will increase your power if you do the same spells, or you may see copies of bosses and deal double damage to them. So this ascendancy is still a mystery, as well as 150 new passives on Druid's side, but at the same time Druid will be able to see secret passives. Yeah, he will change bunch of passives and they will change how they work. So it looks like Oracle is a new, pretty interesting summoner class. And of course with uniques we can get unique forms. For example, we can become demon. It will look like a bear, but again it will be demon and it looks pretty cool. Still I will play as wolf, but that's really interesting. That's enough to get your opinion if you want to play Druid and what type of Druid you want to play. But here we see a new league mechanic. It's Wild Temple that we can create ourselves. Yeah, you heard me right. This new mechanic will give us ability to build temple with bunch of rewards, play it and get these rewards. Of course there's bunch of rooms that will give us ability to wall items unpredictably and wall more than just items. Let me explain. Instead of green guys, right now in clear fell we will see this obelisk and we will need to clear a bunch of monsters nearby. But nothing will happen, so we need to find another obelisk, another like circle and defeat monsters over there. And nothing will happen. Basically we need to find 5 of them. Sometimes they will be corrupted and can summon weird guys, they probably will be insanely overpowered, but eventually when we clear 5 circles we will unlock teleport, and we teleport right inside Old Wild Temple. We will be on one side and Adziri will be on another. Every time we enter we will get 6 rooms, and we can craft our dungeon. Some room combinations will upgrade nearby rooms and they will have better rewards. For example, placing workshop near smiths and then adding power source will actually upgrade this room to level 3 and we will see this powerful wall mech. After playing this dungeon, 2 rooms will be deleted. So, as far as I can understand, after playing this dungeon once, we will be forced to find 5 more circles and then open it again, and then build it again, slowly moving towards Adziri for ultimate reward. Cool stuff that were showcased is this room. It's triple upgraded wall room. This device will be able to corrupt already corrupted items for double corruption, but there's 50% chance to completely destroy your item, so be careful. Boss over here will drop custom corrupted soul cores. For example, we will be able to gain a lot of movement speed while sprinting, but also we will lose life while doing it. Also there will be a special walling device that will be able to actually corrupt uniques and change affixes. So if there are any downside on unique item right now, we will be able to corrupt it and remove downside, or we will trash the item. Also, you don't need to corrupt inside the dungeon, you can take this as currency and actually it will be tradable, so depending on how rare it will be, it's nice to take and trade. Also, there is cool boss room that called Surgeon. Basically, I guess it will be campaign bosses that will be altered, but after victory we will be able to use this Surgeon table and go full cyberpunk mode, changing our body parts into robot parts. This, by the way, will be lost after dash, so they are not permanent. There was also a bunch of different rooms showcased with different new currencies, new runes and other stuff, but overall that's like most interesting stuff. Endgame sadly got postponed until 0.5, so there is no endgame changes, like drastic endgame changes this season. However, it's not exactly true, since while there is no complete overhaul of gameplay, I really enjoy changes that is made. First of all, green guys will stay with us, but they won't spawn on every campaign map. They will be a separate mechanic in endgame, and if you want to interact with them more, there will be a boost percussor tablet, as well as new part of Atlas. There is no other Atlas changes as far as I can see. Makes sense because endgame changes will be in 0.5, that's where will be probably total Atlas overhaul. Still, everyone hates this mechanic to juice waystones, so they completely removed this ability. Really interesting part about this screenshot is actually waystone tier 16 that is completely uncorrupted. Probably it's teasers of endgame in 0.5, but for now again, this juicing mechanic completely gone, as well as delirium. You can't instill waystones. Old delirium looked completely awful. That's how new delirium will look like on the maps. Pretty good in my opinion, exactly what I wanted, kinda little win yet. So how do we juice maps right now? Well, you need to defeat Arbiter of Ash first, and now we will be able to use Regal and Exalted Orbs on tablets. Tablets will definitely be a lot more powerful, so technically that's new juicing right now and I'm up to it. Also, they're changing monster scaling in endgame, so there will be less monsters, but they will be a lot more powerful and will give a lot more rewards. For example, if before we got 60% more monsters, right now we will get 60% more rewards with 60% more powerful monsters. Also, GGG claims to fix performance issues, but I guess it's because there is a lot less monsters right now. Some uniques rebalanced, there's 11 new uniques, they showed some love to Kitava with pretty good passives for awesome armor, and 90 skills got changed, pretty cool. 250 new passives on passive skill tree. Insane. As insane as new supporter packs, but you can check them yourself. I hope you enjoyed this quick recap, and if you want to get more news for Path of Exile 2 0.4, make sure to subscribe and check new videos very soon.